the role of international cooperation for a sustainable future. We've been listening to ideas about collaboration across sectors, across stakeholders from day one, and it's clear to us that without meaningful collaboration, no meaningful future can be achieved. So in line with that thought, the stage is now set for the next plenary, and we have some distinguished officers here, leaders here, who are going to talk to us. It's my privilege to bring on stage first His Excellency Darkhan Seitenov, Deputy Head of the Mission, Embassy of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Hearty welcome on stage, sir. Welcome, sir. Being joined by Her Excellency Bohloeki Tlhaku Morojele, First Secretary of the High Commission of the Kingdom of Lesotho. Hearty welcome, ma'am. And finally on stage, His Excellency Yermek Aitmagambetov, Second Secretary, Trade Embassy of the Republic of Kazakhstan. It's my pleasure to invite to the podium our first plenary speaker, His Excellency Darkhan Seitenov. Welcome, sir.
Dear Pro Vice Chancellor, Madam Leda, Dr. Gaurav Gupta, distinguished guests and participants, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for the opportunity to participate in such an important event today. So this is my first time visit in this beautiful city, and I'm delighted by the beauty and the hospitality of its people. I would also like to express my gratitude for the opportunity to speak to the representatives of one of the most dynamic and progressive regions of India, the state of Kerala. The state of Kerala is known not only for its rich culture and natural beauty, but also for its level of education, entrepreneurial activity, and innovation. Kazakhstan and Kerala have much in common: a commitment to sustainable development, openness to international cooperation, and a focus on innovation. Since this is our first collaboration with Jain University, I would like to brief you about the Kazakh-Indian relations, which are developing in the spirit of strategic partnership, which was established in 2009 when my President Nazarbayev was visiting India as a chief guest for the Republic Day. And the main highlights of the cooperation are absence of any political issues between Kazakhstan and India. As regards international situation, we share a very similar position on international agenda. During these years, we have been able to achieve a lot together thanks to a mutual relationship based on mutual respect and implementation of interests. India has historic relations with Central Asia. Kazakhstan holds special place in the region. The relations between our peoples are deeply rooted from the ancient past. We attach a great importance to promoting economic ties with India. And if I'm not mistaken, nowadays we have trade turnover about $2 billion US dollars. And both regions, Central and South Asia, possessing inexhaustible economic and natural resources, big intellectual capital, turn into an effective platform for global processes. The center of global economic activity, transport corridors, fast-growing markets, and digital technologies are shifting here. The historical role of this Great Silk Road as the ancient transport and logistics network connecting Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent, West and East, cannot be overestimated. We must revive these traditions in modern conditions, since a lot already done in this direction. I am confident that the new Silk Road, as a land bridge between countries, peoples, and culture, will ultimately take a central role in economic development, tradition, and innovation in the 21st century. Dear participants, we live in a challenging time, but also of great opportunities. Any opportunity is, first of all, the result of combining ideas and communication. Today, I can note that Kazakhstan and India are becoming more and more open for mutual business communications and investments. Common desire and rapid economic growth of both countries open up broad perspectives for constructive and mutually beneficial cooperation. So, in recent years, bilateral interaction has experienced dynamic growth in various fields. I would also like to note that today there is global optimism towards India's economy. This is because India offers a perfect combination of openness, opportunities, and options. And I'm really excited to see the highly responsible and efficient work of the government of India. To promote the interregional interconnectedness of Central and South Asia, it's crucial to develop effective cooperation mechanisms in politics and diplomacy, trade, economy, education, and culture. The organization of such events can serve as an effective dialogue platform for discussing topical issues in various areas. I believe that the summit being held today will not only produce ideas but also practical results. For our part, we will do our best to make our joint cooperation bear fruit. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, I would like to highlight the importance of decisive actions in innovative partnership on national and regional levels in order to achieve progress on global goals. Kazakhstan is open for cooperation and constructive interaction with all the strategic as well as interested international partners. I would like to thank once again the leadership of Jain University as well as Kerala government for the hospitality extended to me and my delegation, and express confidence that the event will give a significant additional impetus to further development of cooperation of India with Kazakhstan and with its partners. Thank you for your attention. Nani. So, taking this floor, so I would like to also highlight few moments between Kazakhstan and India relations. Just for your kind information, that nowadays Kazakhstan we have 14 direct flights between Almaty and Delhi. 7 flights operated by Indigo, while other 7 flights operated by Air Astana, our national carrier of Kazakhstan. And recently, we have also launched the 3 flights between Almaty and Mumbai. And Kazakhstan has already cooperating with several Indian universities, like Sharda University and JNU. So, if Jain University is interested in collaboration with Kazakhstan's universities, so I can hand it over to you. This is the general information about the universities in Kazakhstan. Nowadays, we have about 8,000 Indian students have been studying in Kazakhstan. So and the number of these Indian students has been increasing year by year because of the current situation. I'm not going to talk about, but you are all aware in this eastern part of Europe. So all the students, Indian students, had been studying in those countries are coming to Kazakhstan as well. So thank you very much. Namaskar.
His Excellency Darkhan Seitenov would like to exchange the document, share the document with our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor J. Lata. Yes, it does call for a loud round of applause because it is collaboration and cooperation like this that makes great things possible. And we hope this is only the beginning. Thank you, His Excellency, and thank you, Professor J. Lata. And it's now my pleasure to bring on to the podium Ms. Morojele, First Secretary of the High Commission of the Kingdom of Lesotho, another country which we have a possibility of future with, potential for future with. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Madam Program Director. Thank you very much, Jen University, for extending the invitation, which of course would never have put aside. And on this note, I would like to thank the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Madam G, and all the members of academia in order of precedence, and all the students here present, and of course, recognizing my esteemed colleagues, as well as honored guest, and exclusively Dr. Gaurav Gupta of GTCI. Thank you very much. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to stand before you and address, or rather give remarks on the role of international cooperation in climate diplomacy for a sustainable future. As I have mentioned earlier, I'm very honored today to address the issue that defines our time, which is climate change. This crisis, unprecedented in its scale and severity, knows no borders and respects no sovereignty. It threatens our economies, disrupts our ecosystems, and imperils the livelihoods of millions across the globe. Confronting such an immense challenge requires more than individual national efforts. It demands a united global response driven by international cooperation and reinforced through robust climate diplomacy. We are gathered here not just to discuss, but to reaffirm our shared commitment to climate action. The path to a sustainable future is neither simple nor short, but through strengthened partnerships, strategic diplomacy, and unwavering resolve, we can forge solutions that will stand the test of time. At the heart of effective climate diplomacy lies the need for strong multilateral agreements. The Paris Agreement of 2015 remains a landmark achievement in global climate governance, demonstrating the power of collective action. On this note, I would like to make reference to His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Republic of Trinidad, who articulated so well on this issue that was signed by more than 100 nationals in France. Yet, for it is to fulfill its promise, nations must move beyond mere commitments and translate them into tangible actions. This means regularly updating nationally determined contributions, implementing ambitious carbon reduction strategies, and ensuring transparency in reporting progress. Accountability must not be optional. It must be integral to our cooperative efforts. Climate change disproportionately affects developing nations, particularly those in Africa. Lesotho, the country I call my home, is not immune to this fact. And of course, the global south. despite their minimal contributions to global emissions. These nations face a dual challenge, that is, mitigating the impacts of climate change while striving for economic growth. Climate diplomacy must facilitate the equitable transfer of green technologies, fostering innovation that allows developing nations to leapfrog fossil fuel dependent industrialization. Knowledge sharing and capacity building initiatives must be prioritized. Partnerships that enhance renewable energy development, climate-smart agriculture, and disaster resilience planning are very crucial. However, such cooperation must be based on genuine collaboration rather than dependency, ensuring that nations retain autonomy over their sustainable development pathways. In addition, a sustainable future cannot be realized without adequate financial support. Developed nations pledged in dollars 100 billion annually in climate finance under the Copenhagen Accord of 2009, a commitment later reaffirmed in the Paris Agreement. Yet, this promise remains largely unmet, hindering the ability of developing nations to invest in climate mitigation and adaptation efforts. To bridge this gap, we must prioritize transparent and accessible funding mechanisms that enable vulnerable nations to implement climate action effectively. Climate finance must not be reduced to mere aid, but should empower sustainable economic transformation. Excuse me. I will repeat that. I'm sorry. To bridge this gap, we must prioritize transparent and accessible funding effectively. Climate finance must not be reduced to mere aid, but should empower sustainable economic transformation. Debt relief for climate adaptation projects, increased public-private partnerships, and the integration of climate risks into financial planning are essential to achieving equitable climate resilience. While multicultural frameworks set the global agenda, regional and bilateral cooperation can accelerate progress through tailored solutions. Initiatives such as the Africa Climate Action Partnership, ASEAN's climate resilience strategies, and Indo-African collaborations on renewable energy illustrate how regional alliances can address specific climate challenges more effectively. Bilateral partnerships between developed and developing nations can also facilitate joint research, knowledge exchange, and investment in sustainable infrastructure. By fostering climate alliances, the multiple levels, we can ensure that solutions are not only global, but also locally relevant. Climate change is not only an environmental crisis, but also a humanitarian crisis. Raising sea levels, desertification, extreme weather events, and resource scarcity are forcing millions to flee their homes. Climate-induced displacement is no longer a future concern. It is a present reality. Climate diplomacy must incorporate humanitarian considerations, advocating for the recognition for climate refugees within international legal frameworks. Cross-border disaster response mechanisms, sustainable urban planning for displaced communities, and climate-resilient infrastructure investments are essential to mitigating displacement-related crises. As we pursue scientific advancement to combat climate change, we must also acknowledge the value of indigenous knowledge systems. Indigenous communities have safeguarded ecosystems for centuries, possessing deep ecological insights that can enhance modern climate solutions. Blending scientific innovation with traditional environmental stewardship can lead to more holistic and effective climate strategies. International cooperation should promote cross-border research collaborations, the conservation of biodiversity hotspots, and the integration of indigenous wisdom into climate policy. The solutions we seek may not always come from laboratories alone. They may also be found in the lived experiences of those who have coexisted with nature sustainably. In conclusion, we need a call to action. International cooperation in climate diplomacy is not merely desirable. Excuse me. Oh. The urgency of this crisis demands more than rhetoric. It demands commitment, action, and unwavering solidarity. Climate change is not a problem for future generations to solve. It is our responsibility today. The world is watching. Future generations will judge us not by the speeches we make, but by the actions we take. Let us therefore strengthen our alliances, uphold our commitments, and work tirelessly to build a sustainable and just future for all. Together we can, and we must rise to this defining challenge of our time. Namaste. Thank you, ma'am.
What a powerful line did Ms. Morojele just deliver. The solutions need not always come from laboratories, but they can come from lived experiences. We cannot agree more, ma'am. And to present a token of our appreciation to both of them, I'd like to bring on stage once again our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor J. Lata. It means so much for Jain University that two key leaders have come on stage to give these messages to us and also sending us a beacon of collaboration. Yes, can we have the mementos to be presented? His Excellency Darkhan Seitenov, Deputy Head of the Mission, Embassy of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Ms. Bohloeki Tlhaku Morojele, First Secretary of the High Commission of the Kingdom of Lesotho. We look forward to a bright future of collaborations with both these countries and to add to the bright future of our students and yours as well. Thank you.
In fact, this is our, as the Kingdom of Lesotho, this is the first time that we are invited to an event by Jan University. We have also been invited to Jan in Bengaluru? Yes, Bengaluru, whereby we met Chairman G. And of course, we are on the table discussing means and measures of how we can collaborate with the education system in the Kingdom of Lesotho. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Did we get that photograph? Yes.